Soft piano music plays, black screen fades into slow-motion clips of Delta Burke on stage, smiling through flashing cameras. She was one of Hollywood's brightest stars. Elegant, confident, unstoppable. But behind the lights, behind the laughter, Delta Burke was fighting a battle no one could see. Pause. A battle with her own body. Dramatic music rises. Montage of 1980s TV shows, red carpets, laughter, applause. In the 1980s, Delta Burke became a household name through designing women. Millions admired her beauty, her humor, and her charm. But fame came with pressure. The pressure to stay perfect, to look a certain way, to fit Hollywood's impossible standards. Fade to backstage scene. Delta looking in a mirror, exhausted. Underneath the makeup and lights, stress began to take its toll. Her health started to shift. She gained weight, felt tired all the time, and the world, instead of showing kindness, judged her. Pause, slow sad piano. Criticism grew louder. But Delta didn't know that something deeper was happening inside her. Hospital hallway, soft beeping sounds, Delta sitting in a doctor's office. Then came the moment that changed everything. Her doctor looked at her with concern and said 3 words that hit like thunder. You have diabetes. Pause. Type 2 diabetes. A condition that would require discipline, strength, and acceptance. Delta's eyes closed in silence, faint heartbeat sound. For Delta, it wasn't just about her body anymore. It was about her spirit. Montage, Delta injecting insulin, skipping desserts, walking in a park, sitting alone thinking. There were days she felt angry. Days she asked, why me? The diets, the medication, the emotional roller coaster. It was overwhelming. She even battled depression and withdrew from Hollywood. Pause. But then something changed. Inspiring music starts softly. Delta realized that diabetes didn't have to define her. It was part of her story, not the end of it. Clip of. In the 1980s, Delta Burke ruled television screens. She was bold, confident, and seemed unstoppable. But the spotlight can be harsh. Every camera flash came with pressure. Every headline came with judgment. Cut to close-up of Delta in front of a mirror, exhausted, deep in thought. When her body started to change, people noticed, and they weren't kind. What the world didn't know was that Delta was dealing with more than just stress or weight gain. Something deeper was happening inside her body. Pause. Her energy dropped. She felt constantly tired. And soon, doctors gave her the news. You have type 2 diabetes. Soft, dramatic music. Hospital hallway fades in. Distant sound of a heartbeat monitor. For Delta, those words were terrifying. She was confused, scared, and overwhelmed. The fame, the pressure, the criticism, it all collided with her diagnosis. Show scenes of her sitting quietly at home, flipping through medical papers, looking distant. Diabetes wasn't just a physical struggle. It became emotional. She battled depression and felt her confidence fading away. Pause. But deep down, Delta refused to let her story end there. Inspiring music begins softly. Warm sunlight shines through a window. Delta realized she had 2 choices. Let diabetes define her or redefine herself. Clips of Delta exercising, preparing healthy meals, smiling again. She chose to fight back. She learned about nutrition, lifestyle changes, and emotional healing. She began to treat her body with kindness, not punishment. Music builds as she's shown helping others, giving interviews, smiling confidently. Delta also opened up about her struggles, using her voice to inspire others facing the same diagnosis. She showed millions that living with diabetes is not a weakness. It's a lesson in strength. Bright, inspiring music rises. Delta laughs and hugs fans, painting, enjoying life. Today, Delta Burke continues to live fully and fearlessly. Her journey was. Soft piano music fades in. Every magazine cover, every camera angle judged her body, her looks, her weight. And slowly, the pressure began to crush her from the inside. Show Delta sitting in front of a mirror, exhausted, lights dimming. She didn't know it then, but her body was sending her a message. Hospital scene, faint sound of heartbeat monitor. After years of stress, exhaustion, and emotional pain, Delta received news that changed everything. Pause. The doctor looked at her and said, "You have type 2 diabetes." Dramatic pause. At first, she was terrified. She felt guilty, ashamed, and lost. How could someone so successful feel so broken inside? Sad violin plays, Delta sitting alone, rain outside the window, but even in her lowest moments, a spark of strength began to grow inside her. Inspiring music begins softly. Delta realized that diabetes wasn't a punishment. It was a wake-up call. A call to love herself again. Show Delta walking in the park, smiling, holding her husband's hand. She started learning about her body, her health, and her emotions. She focused on balanced living, healthier meals, gentle exercise, and mental peace. And most importantly, she stopped letting Hollywood's judgment define her worth. Inspiring music rises. She began speaking openly about her struggles, about diabetes, depression, and body image. Her honesty became her power. Bright morning light, Delta laughing, painting, living peacefully. Today, Delta Burke lives with type 2 diabetes, but on her own terms. She's not hiding anymore. She's embracing who she is, strong, wise, and real. Slow zoom on Delta's smile. Her story reminds us that life with diabetes isn't the end. It's the beginning of understanding yourself in a deeper, kinder way. Soft, inspiring piano returns. Delta Burke once said, "You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going." To everyone living with diabetes, remember, your diagnosis doesn't define you. Your courage. Soft, melancholy piano music. Every magazine photo, every headline, judged her body. And as the criticism grew louder, so did the pain inside her. Slow close-up of Delta sitting before a mirror, her smile fading. She didn't know it then, but her body was sending her warning signs. Hospital corridor fades in, faint heartbeat sound. Years of stress and exhaustion caught up with her. Delta began feeling tired all the time, her energy fading away. When the doctor finally ran tests, the truth came crashing down. You have type 2 diabetes. Dramatic pause, slow piano continues. In that moment, everything changed. The lights of Hollywood dimmed, replaced by fear, confusion, and pain. Fade to Delta, sitting quietly, sunlight through the blinds. She withdrew from the spotlight, feeling lost, unsure how to face herself, her body, and the world. Slow, somber music, montage of Delta walking alone, flipping through medical papers, avoiding cameras. For years, Delta fought silently, not just against diabetes, but against judgment, self-doubt, and depression. She felt betrayed by her own body. But deep inside, there was still a spark, a voice whispering, "You are more than this." Pause. And that voice became her turning point. Music shifts, soft but hopeful melody begins. Delta decided to fight, not for fame, but for herself. She learned how to manage her diabetes with strength and patience. She focused on healthy living, balance, and self-love. She found peace in small victories, a good day, a steady sugar level, a smile that came naturally again. Inspiring music rises. Delta also began speaking publicly about diabetes, body image, and the importance of self-acceptance. Her honesty became her power. Her story became hope for others. Bright morning light, Delta smiling, walking through a park, painting, laughing with friends. Today, Delta Burke lives with diabetes, but she lives beautifully. She's not chasing perfection anymore. She's Ember. Keep going. Keep believing. Because like Delta Burke, you can rise and shine again. Music fades into silence. You are stronger than your diagnosis. Hashtag Delta Burke, hashtag diabetes awareness, hashtag motivational story, hashtag inspiration. Soft piano music begins, slow motion clips of flashing cameras, red carpets, and Delta Burke smiling, gentle, emotional tone. She was the face America adored, radiant, funny, and full of life. Delta Burke, the beloved star of Designing Women, seemed unstoppable. But behind the lights, behind that perfect Hollywood smile, was a woman fighting a battle no one could see. Pause. A battle with type 2 diabetes. A battle that would test her strength, her spirit, and her self-worth. Dramatic music builds softly. This is the story of how Delta Burke fell, fought, and rose again, stronger than ever. Upbeat, nostalgic music, montage of Delta on TV, laughing, signing autographs. In the 1980s, Delta Burke was everywhere. A rising star, admired for her beauty and confidence. But fame came with a price. The endless pressure to look perfect. Soft piano resumes. Every photo, every headline, every critic's word. They all watched her body, not her soul. And slowly, that pressure began to weigh her down. Show Delta looking in the mirror, lights fading, eyes tired. She began to feel exhausted both inside and out, and she didn't yet know why. Hospital room, soft ticking clock, calm yet serious tone. Years of stress and emotional pain started showing up physically. Her energy dropped, her mood changed, and her body no longer felt like her own. Then came a moment that changed everything. Her doctor looked at her and said, "You have type 2 diabetes." Pause, slow dramatic music. For a moment, Delta felt the world stop. She felt lost, frightened, and unsure if she could handle what lay ahead. Slow, sad music, Delta alone at home, quiet, rain falling outside. Delta withdrew from the public eye. She battled not only